Hey there and welcome. We are in Lake Ohrid in North Macedonia, and we wanted to give you a tour and review of our accommodations during our 2-week stay here. If you're new, we're Joel and Michelle, the Wandering Hartz, and we've been traveling full-time since 2019.
That's right, we're on a mission to help you live a more abundant life by incorporating slow or even full-time travel into your work or early retirement for a more abundant lifestyle.
And first up, we'll start with our tour.
The kitchen is our favorite place, so we're gonna begin here where we've got an actually nice 4-burner stovetop, as well as an oven, and this is kind of rare for us. We don't always have ovens in a lot of the places that we stay for a long period of time. This is good because it also has some, like a skillet, actually 2 skillets in there too. And it comes equipped with a kettle, and I believe we also have a toaster as well. As far as silverware and all that, we're covered there. It's got knives, all the silverware, and actually a really sharp knife, which is very hard for us to find. And this is one of my favorite things, is it actually has tongs. And again, these hardly any place seem to have tongs. But as you can see, there's a lot more stuff in here. We've got cutting boards and everything. All the stuff you need, including a couple pans, or pots rather, as well as some foil and stuff. Additionally, this one actually, they had dish soap, cleaning supplies, which is something rare. We don't always get those. And it's nice when it actually comes with that, because that means we don't have to kind of go and spend money buying all of those things, which we end up just kind of leaving anyways. But as you can see, we have a good sink area here, a decent amount of cabinet space, and we have a refrigerator, which is nice. This is a medium-sized refrigerator, but it's more than enough for our time here, and a lot bigger than some of the ones that we get. But as you can see, there's a ton of room in there, and it's got a pretty big freezer section too, which we truly enjoy that, and a microwave. And this might sound weird, but it's been hard for us to find microwaves in the last few stays that we've had. So this is extra special because that means Michelle gets to have her popcorn. So as far as continuing with the silverware and stuff, we also have plates and bowls and things like that. And you can see there's a bunch up in here. This cabinet's a little weird the way it opens. Our last stay in Saranda, Albania was kind of similar. And then of course all of the extra cups and stuff. So another thing we like is that we've got a lot more counter space here, which is cool. So it kind of gives you more room. And it's also kind of doubling as a little workstation for me, because we always have to have a place to do like all of our editing and blogs and stuff like that. But as you can see in the living room, what's really great is we have a ton of natural light with these big windows. We're actually north facing, which is extra special because it means that we don't get a ton of sun coming directly in and like heating up the place. So, but if there are shades that can pull down as well. All of these have shades that pull down and it can make it quite dark in here if you need to, which is good if it's like super hot. But we do have an air conditioner, which is nice. And if you're in the wintertime, there's also, that thing doubles as a heater. And then there's also like a little radiant heater that they have kind of back behind this couch. Speaking of the couches, as you can see, there's a couch, a love seat, as well as another chair here. All of these fold out into like beds. So I suppose you could fit a whole bunch of people in here, but I don't know if that would be, yeah, that'd be a lot of people in this space because it's not a very large space. Cozy is a good word, but it's enough for us. Now, the coffee table's cool because we don't always get coffee tables, which I know sounds weird, but it's just what happens. We also have a TV, and this one is an HDMI TV, which for us is good because it means that we can take our little Roku stick and we can plug that in and be able to kind of watch the apps and stuff like that we have on there. Also, it means that I can plug my computer into it as well, so that if for the other apps that we watch, like our Netflix or Paramount Plus or something like that, I can run that through my VPN, and then we can watch it on the TV as well. Now, the bedroom, as you can see, we got plenty of light in here, especially with these windows. Again, these shades come down, which is great, which means we can get nice and dark at nighttime. The bed's a pretty good size. I found it pretty comfortable or acceptable. And then Michelle, it wasn't as acceptable for her. So that might be a note for you guys. But she ended up putting a couple blankets down, and that seemed to do the trick for her. The pillows are actually quite comfortable, which is nice. But as you can see, we have a ton of storage space. This is all storage. This was got like your hangers and stuff. The middle one, you've got plenty of shelving. And something that we really appreciated was that on this side, the host left us with a ton of options here. Extra blankets, thick ones and thin ones. We got extra towels, comforters, tons of extra sheets, as well as even some beach towels down there. All right, so next we're going to go out to the little balcony area and show you what that looks like. So another nice thing is we've got this little balcony area, which is really cool. It's got plenty of light, and you've got these nice big windows like this one here, which are great because they allow for a lot of fresh air. We're big fans of like the fresh air, so especially today, because this is a really, really hot day. We're filming this in June, and we've got like this extra like huge heat bubble, so it's like 20 degrees warmer than normal. So all this airflow is really, really nice. But out here as well is where we have a drying rack for your clothes and stuff like that you wash. You can also see that we have like a really nice view of these mountains out here. And over on this side, we've actually got, you can kind of see the mountains on the other edge, but this is kind of the direction that takes you down to the lake. And it is a big lake too. And that's about maybe a 10-minute walk from here. And just over this way, we got a view of the fortress, which sits on the top of the hill here, which is really, really cool. And especially at night, because they light it up really nice. So next, let's go to our last thing, and that's going to show you kind of the bathroom. So now back at the front door, we've got a nice little wardrobe area here. You can put your coats and jackets, your shoes, any of that kind of thing. And this is also where you're going to find the bathroom. So let's take a look at that. So as you can see, the bathroom it's a little small, pretty tight quarters in here. Probably mostly because you got the washer in here as well. And this is a brand new washer. As you can see there, it's brand spanking new. They just put that in, as well as the hot water tank. And the nice thing is that this actually gave us plenty of hot water, especially for the two of us. We basically, a lot of times we don't, the tanks are so small, you have to wait a little bit of time. Also in here, we have a nice big mirror with a bunch of storage space behind it, which is cool. And of course, the shower. This is kind of a fairly typical shower you might find in like the Eastern Bloc and the Balkan areas and stuff like that. It's a wet shower, although this helps, the curtains do help a little bit to kind of alleviate that. And it's just going to be the hand nozzle here. Unfortunately, it doesn't like attach anywhere, but still works nonetheless. And before we get to the final part of the video, I ask that you guys like the video or even subscribe if you're getting value out of this. Also, you can check out some of our other content as well. We have slow travel videos and full-time travel videos, which is what we do all the time, as well as more video tours of some of the stays that we've had. If you are also interested in signing up to our newsletter, you find tips and inspiration about how you can live a more abundant life by traveling abroad. Click the little QR code that you see on the screen right now. Now, next up, we're going to jump into the future by 2 weeks, which is the end of our stay, where we're going to give you information about how you can actually book this place itself. And we're going to kind of give you our final thoughts about our whole time here with any kind of pros and cons and stuff like that.
Now that you've seen the tour, we want to talk a little bit about a few things that we liked and didn't like, and this is specifically how it relates to us. We work and travel full time, so this is a little bit different than maybe people who are retired or who are on vacation or not working at all. So the first thing is that location was really, really great. It's close to everything. There's tons of restaurants and cafes. There's little markets, actually just like a 1-minute walk. Just kind of at the end of our alley here. There's lots of grocery stores, shopping, and there's lots of stuff to do here in the city and around the lake. We also had really great AC, and we definitely needed it on this stay because we're here in June and it usually doesn't get that hot here in June, but we're in the middle of a major heat wave basically through this whole area. So it's been in the mid 80s to like upper 90s. So yeah, we definitely tested out the AC.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. Our host was super nice, and he even picked us up from the bus station when we came in to Ohrid.
Yeah, and it's actually going to be dropping us off too, which is also super sweet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think we've actually ever had that happen before.
No, this is a first for us. So
yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's a thing they do here because we had another friend that stayed here and said that they did the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's very nice. He was very attentive as well. We are in a quiet neighborhood, which was kind of a nice change for us since we just came from Saranda.
Yeah, Saranda and Tirana
Yeah.
both were a little bit, more busy and loud.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. We do have a new washer here. So that's nice. We've tried that out a couple times. And we also had a fully stocked kitchen. So we had all of the supplies that we needed and also cleaning supplies as well, which is sometimes that we don't get that in some of our stays. And there were plenty of sheets and blankets and towels.
And next, we want to talk about a few things that, could be, I don't want to call them cons, but they're things that you at least need to be aware of. First thing is the internet was really, really bad for us. Again, we work online. I got to upload videos and things like that. So we need a good upload speed with our internet. And here we end up getting about 15 megabytes down and only like 1.5 megabytes up, which if you've ever uploaded stuff like that, you know that's way too slow. So what that meant was we had to basically use our hotspots on our phone with our eSIMs, and then also we would have to go in town. And I found actually a little billiards pub or whatever here in town that was actually really nice. And they had free Wi-Fi and good beer is what they say. And it was good beer, and the Wi-Fi was great. So I was able to upload videos and things like that there. Now, I did talk to the host about this, and he really did try to help us out with it. Unfortunately, I guess he had just gotten a new contract with the A1, which is the main 3G, cell phone provider here, which also does internet. And because of that, he wasn't able to upgrade it at all. So, big props because he tried to help us out with that. But at the end of the day, it wasn't worse. We were able to figure out a way around that. Also, there are 2 co-works in town as well that we could have joined. It's just that they were kind of pricier than I would prefer to pay, especially considering we were really just going in there to upload a handful of videos. Outside of that, the only other kind of negative thing would be the how comfortable the bed was. For me, it wasn't too bad. I didn't have an issue, but with Michelle, it was a little too hard for you.
Yeah, I mean, that just kind of relates to me and what I need for my back. So I ended up just putting some, I think an extra comforter down.
Yeah, comforter or blanket down or something like that.
Yeah, and that helped out a lot. So
yeah, so I mean, if you're in that situation, just be aware of that. Otherwise, it would be great if they could put some kind of a little foam topper down or something like that, and it would probably be just perfect. Outside of that, we also had, the bathrooms is a little small and tight, as you saw in the video. It didn't end up being that big of a deal for us, and mostly because we're kind of used to that. It's very common in the Balkans, we found, is to have those smaller bathrooms like that, especially in buildings that are 20 or 30 years old, or maybe even a little bit older than that. Another one that's specific to us and probably wouldn't affect you is having a workspace for us. We ended up using like a little table that was out on the little balcony area and kind of end up using that as kind of our workspace. It wasn't the most comfortable, but we made it work. You might not have that problem, so it might not be an issue for you. And then another one thing to note is that there is no elevator in this building. Again, it's also pretty common that we found in our travels in the Balkans that it's maybe 50-50 chance that there's going to be an elevator there or not. And it just has to do with a lot of it has to do with how old the building is. In this case, we were on the 3rd floor, so we did have like 3 flights of stairs to get up. But we traveled pretty light, so it wasn't too big of a deal. So that takes us into our final thoughts. And overall, we really did enjoy our time in Ohrid. In fact, we would absolutely want to come back here, and especially for slow travelers like ourselves. I think you will really, really like this place. Especially it's a quiet town. It's got everything you need, like grocery options and things like that. So we would definitely consider coming back to Ohrid, and we'd actually consider staying here again as well. Especially if we could get the internet could get like upgraded a little bit, then we'd be totally happy staying here for even longer than 2 weeks, even up to like a month or more.
Yeah, for sure. We booked this on Airbnb, which is not our usual preference just because we've had such mixed experiences with the platform. So if you are interested in booking this, we'll leave a link in the description. Also, be sure to check out our other videos from our time in North Macedonia, as well as other accommodation tours that we've done in other countries, in the United States as well. And if you're wanting to learn to live a more abundant life by slow travel or living abroad, you can check out nomadicabundance.com.
Yeah, there you can actually sign up to be notified on how you can get access to a growing collection of guides, ebooks, and even other resources for digital nomads, slow travelers like ourselves, or even early retirees that will help you in your travel journey.
You can also get access to extended and exclusive podcast episodes and videos. Finally, if you got some value out of this video, you can show your support by sharing this episode, buying us a glass of wine, or joining Nomadic Abundance membership.
Until next time, happy wandering.
Happy wandering.